Hey there, and a very warm welcome. Today, we're going to solve a mystery together. It's one of those puzzles that pops up all the time. In our offices, our homes, pretty much anywhere we use technology. It's that sinking feeling you get when something that was working perfectly suddenly isn't. And when we go looking for answers, we're almost always met with one single, really frustrating phrase.
You've heard this before, right? I bet you've even said it yourself. A critical app just stops. A connection is lost. The whole system just goes down. And as the pressure starts to build, the first line of defense is always the same. But I didn't change anything. And it feels like you've just hit a brick wall. It's a mystery with no clues and no obvious way forward.
And that right there is the big question, isn't it? It's the very heart of our story today. If nothing changed, then why on earth did it break? So let's start our little investigation, because the answer, well, it reveals something really profound, not just about our tech, but about all the hidden connections that shape our world.
Okay, so to find our first clue, we've got to shift how we're looking at this whole thing. See, a system isn't just one single solid object. It's much more like an ecosystem, or like a delicate tower, where every single piece is depending on all the others just to stay standing.
The app that you see and use every day, that's really just the tip of the iceberg. Underneath the surface, there's this deep foundation of hidden layers. You've got the operating system, the network, all those security policies, cloud services, you name it. Each one of these layers is its own little world, a lot of the time managed by completely different people following different rules. They're all supposed to work together in perfect harmony, but that harmony can be pretty fragile. And that brings us to, honestly, the best way to picture this. The system isn't a product. It's a Jenga tower. You might be focused on your one little piece right at the very top, but way down in the foundation, someone else shifts a tiny, seemingly insignificant block. Now, you don't feel it at first, but then, ever so slightly, the entire tower, it begins to wobble. So, if the tower is wobbling, we've got to look for what moved, right? Our search leads us to these invisible changes. Because in our modern world, change doesn't always need a human hand. It's happening constantly, silently, automatically, deep in the background of all our systems.
Let's meet the usual suspects in our mystery. While the whole world was asleep, a silent update was pushed out. Right in the middle of the workday, a security policy automatically refreshed itself. And a digital certificate, which is kind of like a key that lets two systems talk to each other, it just expired, right on schedule. No person did anything wrong, but the system was quietly, invisibly, changing all by itself.
And this is the moment we crack the case. The idea that a system can ever be static, that nothing changed, is a complete myth. These systems are alive. They are constantly breathing, updating, and recalibrating themselves just to keep running. The truth is, something is always changing. Okay, so this leads us to the final and honestly the most important piece of this whole puzzle. The problem is rarely one broken piece. It's almost always a tiny shift in the balance of the entire ecosystem. The break is just the symptom, and it just happens to appear in the one place you're looking. Let's try another way of looking at it. Imagine our system as a huge airplane in mid-flight. It isn't being kept in the air by just one pilot. It takes an entire flight crew. You've got the network team acting as your navigators, the security team as your flight marshals, the storage team managing the cargo. For that flight to be smooth, every single one of them has to work in perfect concert. Now, what happens if just one of those crew members, say the person managing the cargo, makes one tiny adjustment? The passengers back in the cabin, they have no idea what just happened. All they know is that they can feel the turbulence. The symptom appears in the cabin, but the cause was hidden somewhere else, deep inside the plane. And this right here is where we can make a really powerful shift in our thinking. Instead of saying the application broke, which is really the language of blame, we can choose to say the problem appeared in the application. Just changing that one word changes everything. It turns us from frustrated victims into curious detectives ready to diagnose the whole system. This whole approach has a name. It's called systems thinking. It's the ability to see that invisible web of connections between all the different parts. The real skill isn't just fixing the one piece that seems broken, it's understanding why the connection between the pieces failed in the first place. It's about seeing the entire Jenga tower, not just the one block that fell. So the next time you're faced with one of these mysteries where it feels like nothing changed, I want you to remember that Jenga tower. Just take a deep breath and take a step back. Ask yourself, what invisible change might have just happened? What hidden connection has shifted? You see, when you start asking these kinds of questions, you transform from a victim of the problem into the detective who can actually solve it.
You find your power not in placing blame, but in seeking understanding. And that, truly, is the key to solving any complex problem you'll ever face.
Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for watching this video. My name is Naresh. I am the content creator behind this YouTube channel. I have created a community for Citrix learners where I will be posting a lot of details on Citrix products and how to work in Citrix environments. I'm going to mention the link in the video description so you can click on that link and you can become part of the community. All right, see you soon. Bye bye.